Scene 20. Pat Talk. It's burdening to confront your parents after almost getting shot by the family next door. I'm on a couch in the living room with my mom scowling nearby. My dad crosses his arms, wearing the same expression as the gun owner, as if he also wants to kill me. I'm asking you, when did you get close to him? I glimpse at Parr, who stands anxiously further away. All I can do is keep my mouth shut. Aren't you going to answer, Pat? We're not close. Don't lie. I roll my eyes, feeling suffocated to be squeezed out an explanation. And I'm not good at lying. We go to the same university. We're bound to see each other at times. You don't have to interact with him when you see him. That family is dumb, arrogant, and envious. They know our business is going well, so they try to mess us up. Their son is no good as well. Don't ever be like him, okay? His family runs a construction company, yet he chose to study architecture. It's the same field. You can't build a house with only engineers. You work in this business, so you must know these two careers are related. You're talking back now? Reflect on your action, you brat. Stop, stop hanging out with him. Didn't you see his face? He's hollowed eyed and skinny like a drug addict. Are you two selling drugs? This is going too far. I just wanted his advice about something. Why didn't you come to us instead? You took us for nothing? No matter how hard I try to explain, they view it as a shallow excuse. I massage my temples. I can't get my words through that when he raises his voice like this. And as much as I'm not obedient, it's too troublesome for me to argue with people. All right, I'll stop seeing him. Is that it? I'm sleepy. I want to go to bed. Don't brush it off, Napat. Har, come here. The girl, my only hope, steps forward, responding to the call. She gives me a signal with her eyes. We're on the same page. Keep a watch on your brother from now on. Do not let him hang out with that junkie. They'll eventually ruin their own lives otherwise. Pran isn't a junkie. He looked worn out because he stayed up all night completing his project. How could he stay up all night if he didn't use drugs? You're still young and naive, Pat. Par pouts at those words while I sigh. He always sees us as children. Take good care of your brother from now on, Par. I won't let him out of my sight. And you, Pat, don't be naughty. I respond in a mumble and exhale behind Dad's back. After a 2-hour lecture, I survived this day in a struggle. You shouldn't have gone that way. Par grumbles when we're back in our room. I sigh, looking out the window. Fran's room is still dark. He must be squeezed dry by now. With that thought, I plop down my bed in exhaustion. My sister's room is next to mine on the left. If she isn't busy chatting with her boyfriend on the phone, she usually plays games in my room. We only have each other and understand one another more than our parents, who raised us. Since we're close in age, we share our personal matters and see eye to eye. I've never gotten caught before. That was hasty. You almost got hurt. Well, I survived. For how long? This is hard. And your lover has to be Pran, of all people. I sigh. Pran's room is finally lit up. I drag a chair, settle it by the window, and give him a call. He answers in a weary voice and draws the curtain open without returning my gaze. He keeps picking up this and that around him in a daze. How's it going? Get a lecture, as expected. What about you? As you can guess, are you okay? Mm, Pran says with a level tone, sighing. I know, we're both troubled by something neither of us started. I'm sorry. For what? I hesitate, unable to choose one. For climbing the wall to see him so carelessly? for being peculiarly and noticeably stressed, for our parents' opposition, or for falling in love with him. No matter what it is, I hate Pran's depressed expression in that house right now. Pran, let's go back to our place on the day after tomorrow. He turns his eyes from a book he's reading to the window. Our eyes meet, with no sweet words exchanged. But the moment we think of our room, the place where we can do whatever we're pleased, my heart suddenly feels warm. Let's go back together, Pran. That night, Pran and I agreed to leave separately at different times. My parents would drive me back in the morning, while Pran would follow in the afternoon. Dad and Mom nagged at me since this morning until we've arrived at the destination. I made a promise to give them some peace and end the topic. Even so, they just can't stop themselves when it comes to Pran. Just see me off here. I'll go up by myself. But don't be naughty, okay? Yeah, I respond. Par and I grab our backpacks and get out of the car. Both of us siblings heave a sigh and say goodbye to our parents. They remind Par to keep watch on me again. Then we watch the car depart. I don't want to graduate, I mumble to no one. The thought about the future lowers my spirits. I don't want to imagine how my relationship with Brad will be when we move out of here. My sister touches my elbow to comfort me. Right now, Par is the only one who understands this desperate situation. I really want to know why our families are on bad terms. Nothing we can do anyway. Par's answer hollows the miserable hole in my heart. I nod and push the elevator button as so we can organize our stuff in our apartment. I check the time on the clock, waiting to see Pran. I can't help wondering what more we can do. In a family that expects their son to marry a girl, it's hard to accept that their son is gay. Worse, their son's lover is from the family they despise more than anything else. Everything feels hopeless. Take your time to find a solution, Pat. You're still in the clear, so just enjoy your time at the moment. I agree with her. After counting down the time for a while, Pran finally texts me, saying he's taking off. I reply to confirm that the coast is clear and lie down on my bed. To Par and me, it's normal for our parents to give us a lift. But today, Pran's parents drive him here, suspicious of our relationship. They also keep an eye on Pran. Will you tell Pran about Punch? Par queries. I press my tongue on the inside of my cheek, mulling over it. The TV is left on, but my eyes wander away. I'm thinking about how long I can hide it from him. Why don't you just tell him straightforwardly? That way, you two can figure things out together. Or break up sooner. I've never thought of myself as a coward until our relationship is on the line. My phone rings in the late afternoon. I fell asleep while watching the TV. Par is playing on her phone in her room. The screen displays Pran's number. I pick up drowsily and get indecipherable shouts as a response, like a fight. It sounds unpleasant. Pran cries out in the middle of everything. I think he's telling me to calm down. Par, I call my sister. She looks up and takes off an earbud. Where are you going? Pran told me to come down. Huh? Didn't his mom drive him here? Things will get ugly if you meet her. I don't know. Do you need anything? I'll buy it. Oh, I ran out of tampons. I'll buy it myself. Where's my wallet? Use mine. Par beams and clutches my arms as if I'm a millionaire. She locks the door as I wait for the elevator. She catches up with me when the only elevator in this condo arrives. What did he say? It was loud, so I couldn't hear much. He might need me to carry some stuff. He never asked me to do anything besides doing the dishes. Whoa, I guess he found out about Punch. I'll slap your mouth. Par puts out her tongue, teasing me. Once we stop on the first floor and the elevator door parts, my sister and I could never prepare ourselves for the scene before us. Two middle-aged men are charging towards each other. Pran is trying to stop his dad, while a security guard blocks my dad's arms. Fortunately, our moms only shout at each other, not using violence like their husbands. You're here, you brat! What's the meaning of this? Why didn't you tell us you live in the same condo as this junkie? Who's the junkie? Watch your mouth! I'm going to file a charge of slander. What about you calling my son troublemaker? Can I file a charge as well? Stop it! Mom! Dad, you too! Why are you fighting? We live in the same building, so what? We've all lived in the same housing estate for over 10 years. But, are you talking back now? Dad, calm down. Har tries. You two use this place for unlawful purposes, right? I wanted you to take care of your sister here, not doing drugs with this kid. Doing drugs? Your son kept bothering Pran that he had to work until dawn. Him being unruly is one thing, but now he's dragging my son down. Dad, cut it out. We did nothing bad. I think you and mom should leave now. How can we leave? We have to settle this. What a match. As we outnumbered the other family, Par and I successfully pulled Dad out of the building. Pran and I make eye contact, agreeing to deal with our own family. The commotion I had heard over the phone back then must have been these adults getting at each other's throats. They disapprove of the young fighting, yet these old men brawled without a care of their health. Unbelievable. Why did you come back, Dad? Did you go home? If far if Par haven't left her wallet in the car, I wouldn't have learned that you've lived in the same building as that kid, right? We just live in the same building. That's not all. I actually want to say that it's no problem, even if we sleep in the same bed. The ones with problems are the adults. Why do you have to kick up fuss over this? It's no big deal. You helped your brother hide it from us, Par. Mom scolds my sister, saying how my dad's words didn't work on me. I knew it! You couldn't become friends just because you crossed paths at times. In the university, did your grades drop because you'd been distracted? My grades dropped because I didn't study hard. Don't blame someone else mindlessly, Mom. Now you're protecting him? Are you close? If I say we're close, you tell me off. If I say we're not, you think I lie. What kind of answer do you want, Dad? I run my fingers through my hair, boiling up. Even the bird chirps and the breeze can't alleviate the irritation. I lick my lips. Par is the first one, sensing that I'm no different from the overworked engine right now. Dad, please stop. My sister cautions, but Dad is still fuming. If you wonder who I take these stubborn and impulsive qualities after, here he is. Mom just doesn't want to oppose Dad most of the time. She is also calmer, and so is Par. I never listen to my parents. The most I can do is listen, but never take them seriously. Pack your stuff. You're moving back to our house. I won't. How can you not? How long do you think you can live this reckless life? You have to move back sooner or later anyway. You have a house and a company to manage. You can't continue being a purposeless brat. Didn't you take most of the exams? I still have some left. Those are quizzes. How can I leave? There are projects to work on. Stop being ludicrous and blinded by your own prejudice. You're the one who should stop mingling with that kind of friend. Did I give you too much freedom? Do you have any idea that everything I taught you was out of goodwill? You just want me to hate Pran the way you hate his dad. I don't care. You have to go back home. Dad finishes in a curt voice. We stare at each other relentlessly. I'll buy you a car. Choose the model you want, but you have to go with us. No need to lure me with such a thing. I'm not leaving. Bar, pack up your stuff. Aren't you listening to me? I shove my dad's chest and mom screams. Pa rushes forward to hold me, trying to calm me down. This is ridiculous. I fled from my house to spend time with Pran, but it turns out I'm still haunted by this nightmare. Par has to come home. I'm not letting her be near Snake like that kid from that family. Mom snarls. Go on, do as you please. Can you stand seeing your sister take a bus and have a hard time just because you want to be with that lousy friend of yours? Dad knows what's important to me, the thing that ties me to our house. Par tightens her hug as if feeling the boiling rage spreading all over my body. You can't use Par like this. We'll see. I force my eyes closed, lips pressed tight. I shake Par off and kick a marble table under its tree shade so hard that the piece falls off. Go and get your stuff! I glare at Dad one last time and stomp back into the building. Pran is nowhere in sight. He probably took his parents to his room. I go up alone, leaving Par to handle our parents. I need to cool my head after the fight. But the door next to my room is opened. Pran's parents stand behind him. I fold my hands over my chest to greet them, but it doesn't seem to ease their anger. If someone has to leave, it should be me. You should stay here. You have tons of work. It would be tough for you to go back and forth from your house to the university. I press my lips and sigh. One of us needs to go home to prevent any possible interactions between us as they want. But my dad told me to pack up. I'll take only the necessaries today. I'm sorry. I didn't know they'd come back. It's alright. We hold each other's gazes. There's so much more to say, but the cough from behind makes us avert our eyes awkwardly. Get home safe. I'm sorry. I never meant to cause a ruckus. Please let Pran stay here. It's better for him. I head inside my room before they can curse me again. This is just the beginning, Pat. What's your next move to be with Pran? I lean my back against the door and shut my eyes, with this painful thought remaining in my mind. End of scene 20.